Hello artists and welcome to Printmaking Level D. Let's get started. In front of me, let's get us down and turned around. I have our sketchbooks and you're going to go ahead and put your name up on the top of this sketchbook. You're going to circle printmaking and you're going to put a level D by it. All right, let's see what our learning goals are today. Says, I can create a collagraph with pattern. I can use the right amount of ink, correctly use the brayer to ink the plate, and create a radial print. All right, let's take a look at how that looks. So first thing I'm going to need to do is grab out the level D bucket. And I'm going to notice some things in here. I'm going to notice some glue bottles, a couple pairs of scissors, some cardboard plates, and then look, some foam pieces. I'm going to have you grab out this little cardboard piece. It's going to serve as our printing plate. Today, a collagraph, guys, is a collaged printing plate. It's a collaged printing plate. So what I'm going to do is grab my cardboard and grab my foam. And when I create a collagraph, what I'm doing is I'm going to be cutting and gluing foam pieces onto a plate. Now, my learning goal said that I needed to have a pattern. So when I know that when I have a pattern, it's 2 to 3 shapes or something kind of like that are the same or repeating. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to draw a few shapes here on the foam. And I think I'm going to do some waves here. So I'm just going to draw a few of them. And I think I'm going to do 3 to start with and just kind of cut them out. All right, so then I'm going to grab those scissors out of there. This is my foam. I'm going to try to create just with this one, and I'm going to start on the edge so I'm not wasting any foam. And then I can also share with other students that are also doing this. So again, I'm going to cut out my foam here. I'm going to do some movie magic here so you can, so that we can keep going. All right, now that I have these shapes cut out, I noticed that when I was cutting them out, I could just cut through and like have more of these shapes. I'm going to lay them out on my plate here to kind of give me a pattern. Ooh, I don't like that. I'm going to set that off to the side here. Ooh, I kind of like this pattern. It's okay if it goes off the page a little or off your plate a little bit. When we're creating collagraphs, and look, I have an extra piece. So maybe I offer that to a friend. When we're creating these, you don't just have to cut and glue with foam pieces when you're collaging these plates. You could really cut and glue with anything, but we're just, for our purposes, we are going to use foam. I think I'm also going to do this. All right, so now that I have this, I'm going to do some movie magic and we're gonna hop over to where the hot glue gun is. All right, I'm here at the hot glue station. Now I could do this with hot glue, or I can, if I'm not feeling safe with that, then I could just do it with regular glue. If you do it with the regular glue, you have to wait for it to dry till next art time. But with the hot glue, I can just go ahead and do this now. So again, I'm not going to touch the hot glue, right? I'm using just a little bit. I don't need mounds of it, but I'm gonna squeeze and put it right on the plate, right where I had it. So I'm kind of leaving these plate pieces where they were, and then as I get them glued on, I'm putting them down. If you notice here, I have a pattern going on. It's all with one type of shape, but it's repeating over and over again. So you could do it with more than one shape. You could try something different, but you want to do a pattern. I would recommend that when you're creating your pattern, you are figuring out where you want all those pieces first, then gluing them down, because once you glue them down, they're kind of stuck there. All right, I'm going to finish gluing these down, and then we're going to hop back over. Movie magic. All right, here I am. If I have extra foam, I can just drop it back in the level D bucket for someone else to use. If I have these little tiny scraps, just go throw them away. So what I'm going to do now is, now that I have this, I need to make sure it's dry. And before I start printing anything, what I need to do is take my pencil or maybe even a Sharpie or a marker of some sort, and I need to mark one of the corners that's going to be the middle. I'm going to do this on my plate. So if I'm going to make sure we can see this and zoom. There we go, just a little bit. So what I'm doing here is I just have this mark. I've just made like a plus or a star in the corner here. So I know which is going to be my middle. Now a radial print it's kind of like symmetry, but it's in 4 quadrants. 4 quadrants. Think about it like kind of like math. So what I'm going to be doing here is printing this 4 times to make a pattern that goes around the same way. Each time, this symbol that I made is going to go in the middle. So when I go to print it, I'm going to make sure this part's in the middle. I might have to go outside my box. And then when I print it again, I'm going to turn it so that, look, my mark's still in the middle, and it's going to go around so that the mark's in the middle. If it helps you, my mark's on this side, I can also make it on the other side, just so that it's really easy for me to know which side is going towards the middle. All right, let's get out the ink. So you're going to need a plate from the drawer, a brayer, and this is called a baron. You're going to need this. This is going to help you get some pressure on your plate so that it sticks and makes a nice print. I'm also going to need some ink. You're going to choose one color of ink. So I'm going to choose some turquoise today. Again, remember we learned this already. We have to roll and get it all ready, make sure it's all mixed together. And then I don't need very much for this at all. I need a little bit. Remember, I can always get out more. I cannot put back. So I'm going to just give it a little squeeze. Sometimes it's kind of hard to come out. I'm going to squeeze from the top to the bottom. There we go. I get in some. I'm going to do 2 dots. 2 or 3 dots to start. I don't need very much. Again, I can always get more, but I can't put it back. Okay, so that's about all I need. I don't need very much. And then again, I'm gonna put the cap on, put it back. All right, with my brayer, what I'm going to do, and we learned this a little bit from last level C that we did. We have our printing side and we have our inking side on my messy mat. So I'm gonna put this on my inking side and I'm gonna roll it out. Now, I'm going to roll it out nice and thin. Remember that sound? Oh, there's that sound. I love that sound, nice and thin. When I roll it out, I'm not looking for it to be rolled out evenly on here. I'm actually looking on my brayer. So if I notice here, look, I need to get some more ink because that's not fully covered. So when I'm rolling, I'm looking for it to be even on my brayer, not on my plate. Although it does look kind of even there. Oh, that's such a great sound. Ooh, almost there. I see just a little bit here and there. All right, I think we're good. I'm gonna move this off to the side and I'm gonna grab this plate. Okay, remember, I'm making sure I keep track of where my middle is. When I go to do this, I'm looking for the ink to get on the parts that I've cut and glued. Oh, look at that, it's already covered up. I'm glad I made it on the back side. I'm glad I put that mark on the back side. I'm looking for the ink, and that's why we make it dark. I'm looking for the ink to cover the foam pieces that I collaged. Now, I'm gonna get messy. It's just gonna happen. This printmaking is a very messy thing. Once I see that I have my color on my foam, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this down, and then I'm gonna put it on my plate. There's my mark. It's gonna go towards the middle. I'm gonna start at the bottom, actually, to make sure I have enough room. And then I'm just gonna put it down. Once I put it down, remember from last time, I can't move it. Once it's down, it's down. I'm gonna take this baron now. This is something new. This baron is we're gonna push on the plate. I'm gonna push on it. And what it's gonna do is apply even pressure. I'm gonna push on it. I can kind of squeegee it around a little bit so that my plate doesn't move, but I'm just pushing down so that I can get the ink to stick to the paper. So when I pull it up, ooh, that's so cool. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. I gotta get ink on my brayer again. There it is, nice and covered. And again, I'm gonna re-ink my collagraph. I'm gonna re-ink my collagraph with my pattern and watch how we're gonna make a radial print. We're gonna print it 4 times and it's gonna look like it comes from the middle out. That is what a radial print is, or when we do radial things. So there's my middle mark. There it is on the back. This time, my middle is gonna go right here and I'm gonna put it right up against where my last print was. So look how that's right next to each other, and then I'm going to put it down. It might overlap a little bit, that's okay. And again, push, push, push with my baren. Okay, look, my hands aren't even that messy. They are a little messy, but not incredibly messy. And out, and then I can pick it up. There it is, my beautiful print. All right, I'm going to do some movie magic so that I can get the other two. All right, I'm just about to do my last one here. You can see here I have my third one. Look how it's going out. Again, there's my middle mark. I'm so glad I put that on the back there. And I'm going to just put it down. Kind of try to center it as best you can. And there it is. And then once I put it down, I can't pick it up. Hold and rub, 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 rub. So kind. It's so great. Using my strength. I don't need to move it too much. And put this off to the side, and there it is. When I have this done, there's a couple things I need to do. I'm going to take a piece of tape, and I'm actually going to tape this up in my sketchbook so I can just keep track of it. And then I'm going to put this all on the drying rack so it can dry out. Then I need to make sure I clean up my stuff and put it back in the correct location. Happy creating!